On this day, engineers from all over the world came together to build an indestructible iron box. Then the scientists put a manual and half a key inside and set the time to open it automatically after 200 years. Finally, the box was handed over to the first mayor of the dungeon in the presence of all the people. And the mayor was instructed to keep it safe and pass it on from generation to generation, because what's in it concerns the future of all mankind. But unexpectedly, there was an accident in the middle of the process. The seventh mayor died of a heart attack not long after he got the box. And since then the box has been forgotten in the corner and no one knows about it. And this incident has also been forgotten with the passage of time. It turns out that in the distant 2057, the Earth suffered an unprecedented catastrophe. In order to continue human civilization, engineers built a dungeon, the secret of the dungeon, which could keep mankind safe for 200 years. And where mankind would be in 200 years, was hidden in an iron box. Now that 200 years have passed, the dungeon is already overloaded, and the lights are constantly falling down because of the age of the city. That's not the point. The point is that the entire electrical system is failing and the city is experiencing more and more blackouts and longer blackouts. And so Paul, the hero, has an ambition to become an electrician and fix the faults. But it doesn't work out that way. All the jobs in the dungeon are decided by lottery. So it's not enough just to aspire to be an electrician. It's also a matter of luck. Paul's luck was not so good. As soon as the electrician's job was drawn by the others, he was drawn to be a messenger, and he was very disappointed to be the messenger. Luckily for him, his friend Anna got the job as a sewer, who had access to a generator. So he approached Anna to switch jobs with her, just as she dreamed of becoming a messenger. Thus Paul succeeded in getting one step closer to his dream, and to celebrate this great moment the inventor's father gave him a mysterious gift, a homemade master key. With his father's blessing, he left for work early the next day, and on his way to work, he saw a wounded moth, which he tied up with a shoelace, and wondered where it had come from and where it was going. With high hopes, he arrived at the workplace to report for duty, but the job was not what he expected. Before he knew what he was doing, he was told to put on overalls and to put his name on his helmet in case something happened, and no one knew who he was. The girl was on her way to deliver a letter when she suddenly noticed a strange scene. The portraits of past mayors hanging on the wall were all holding a mysterious box in their hands. That's not the point. The point is that there is an identical box in their house. She immediately went home to check it out and saw that her sister was playing with the box as a toy, and she had chewed up the instructions inside. This is not good. She quickly took the box and asked her grandmother the purpose of the box, but she never realized that the mother of the Lord has forgotten the purpose of the box. In her old age, grandmother only remembered her great-grandfather said the box is very important. Hearing this, Anna was instantly unsettled and hurriedly opened the box to find out what it was all about. Inside was a fragmented instruction manual and a transparent card. What exactly is the purpose of this? She immediately stuck the pieces of the manual together to find out what is written on it, but due to the damage is really too serious, cannot read it. In desperation, she suddenly saw that there was a reference to sewers and her friend Paul was a sewerman. So she showed the manual to him. Paul was really onto something. He seemed to remember the font from an old history book. Without delay, the two of them found the history book and confirmed that the font was exactly the same. That's not the point. The point is that the history book was left by the builder. So he decided that the instructions were also left by the builder. So what was the builder trying to tell them? After a careful study, Paul suddenly realized that the word exit was in the manual. So Paul surmised that the builders were trying to tell them that there was an exit from the sewers. It turns out that 200 years ago, mankind suffered an unprecedented catastrophe. In order to continue human civilization, engineers built a dungeon underground where the engineers are also known as builders. But now the underground city is already overloaded. The stored food is about to run out, and even the generator that we rely on for survival has a fatal malfunction if we can't find a way to save it. The underground city will be plunged into darkness forever. So the two men went to the sewers to find a way out, but they accidentally ran into a giant rat. Due to the change in living conditions, this guy grew as big as a yak, and the two of them were instantly scared to death and ran away. But it was no use, the rat followed them all the way. Luckily, Paul knew the place better and they hid in the storage room, but it was all in vain. The next moment the rat burst through the entrance and came in two. The next moment, the rats burst through the entrance and came in two. It was horrible. Anna was so scared. She hid in the corner and couldn't breathe. Luckily, Paul was more alert. He hit the rat with a can and managed to attract its attention, and then ducked into the overturned shelves and managed to trap the rat inside. It was a great opportunity for both of them to escape from this place, and they continued to look for a way out. Paul clearly remembered that a section of the sewers had been erased from the map, so the two immediately went to find out more. Paul used the master key given to him by his father to open the steel door, but what they saw in front of them was a shock. The two men were suddenly shocked by the scene in front of them, that the mayor, whom they had always been proud of, was actually a corrupt official. The mayor had hidden everyone's rations here and enjoyed it alone. But the mayor was glistening with grease. Anna's sense of justice was so strong that she immediately went to the mayor's office to expose the mayor's crimes. She found the director of the office and told him what she had seen and heard. But she never expected that the director was in league with the mayor, and the next thing she knew, she was dragged into the mayor's office by force. At this time, the mayor was still eating herring canned food. And when he heard that someone had reported his own embezzlement, the mayor immediately put down the food in his hands, and then calmly took out a piece of card as a toothpick, and rubbed his teeth, and then asked Anna what evidence she had. When she heard this, Anna had no qualms about saying that she and her friend Paul had seen the mayor with their own eyes in a dark room in the sewers. That's not the point. The point is that Anna's eyes showed her that the card in the mayor's hand looked familiar. Soon after, the mayor ordered to take Anna down, but did not realize that just when the emergency suddenly blacked out, the scene was chaotic. Anna jumped out of the window to escape and grabbed the mayor's card. The mayor ordered the arrest of Anna and her partner Paul. Faced with a manhunt, Anna flees to the border to help her aunt on the farm. When she hears that her niece is in danger, she hides Anna in a secret room that no one knows about. Meanwhile, Paul is being pursued and the guards find his father and ask him where he is. The father responded by pretending to be deaf and signaling the guards to speak up, but in reality he was trying to warn Paul to run away. Paul hears the noise and jumps out of the window to escape, and coincidentally he makes it to the relative safety of the border farm, where he is seen by his aunt, who hides him in the secret room. Soon the guards arrive at the farm and they smash up the place, suspecting that Paul is hiding there, but they can't find the secret room even though it's so close by. Once they were safe, Anna gave the cards to Paul to study, and he put them together and was surprised to find that the icons on them were exactly the same as those on the steel door of the generator room. Then they realized that the secret was behind the anus, and without delay they took their young sister and went to the generator room to find out what was going on, but unfortunately they could not open the anus even after half a day's research. In desperation, they called the master on duty to ask him where the key to the engine room was. To their surprise, the master said that it was not under his control. And then the master fell asleep again. They had no choice but to think of another way. After some research, Anna suddenly realized that the pattern on the ground is exactly the same as the pattern on the manual. Seems to have come to the right place. Without delay, they followed the track on the floor to look for the end of the track is the locker, so they frantically pushed the locker. Results: do not know how to push a surprise locker, actually hidden mystery.